in some other news, popular YouTuber JonTron just keeps digging himself deep into this fucking hole.
So I don't know a whole lot about this situation.
Well, let me preface this by saying I have been a big fan of JonTron.
Yeah.
For
you mentioned that when we were talking
time.
about PewDiePie.
Right. For a long time, I've been a fan of JonTron. Back in the day, when I first really got into like watching YouTube videos with like the Angry Video Game Nerd and stuff like that, I stumbled across JonTron, and it's like, this dude is funny as fuck.
Co-found Game Grumps?
Yes, and also started a company called Normal Boots that has a lot of different, game reviewers and stuff that I watch. But it started off, he did a interview with another YouTuber that I'm a fan of, Sargon of Akkad, and they were mostly talking about like feminism and SJW stuff, and he got some heat for that. But like I said, I kind of agree with some of the things that he said. I kind of agree with some of those viewpoints. I think like feminism is
we talked about that.
Goes a little bit too far sometimes.
And we talked about that in our Red Pill segment, which again you can find on our YouTube channel.
But then he did a debate. First of all, he tweeted out, what's the dude's name? King something, the senator who's like practically
Steve
a Nazi.
King?
Yeah. He tweeted out in defense of him. And so this Twitch streamer, Destiny, was like, hey, debate me on my channel. So he did, and they talked for like 2 hours. And JonTron said some pretty heinous shit. You're talking about like Stormfront talking points, like alt-right, he basically said that the rich black person commits more crimes than the poorest white person. And he used this term demographic displacement of white people, which to me sounds like a fancy word for white genocide. The fact that white people should be proud of why wouldn't white people want to remain a majority?
I feel like demographic displacement sounds more to me like white people getting kicked out of cities.
I mean,
because there is an increasingly large minority population in cities.
Has any white person ever been physically removed from a city?
Of course not.
They chose to move.
Yeah, no, they all moved out into the
made
suburbs.
The decision to do that
because they were scared of the black people.
So, I mean, he goes on and rambles on, and I got to give credit to Destiny because he did a great job in kind of putting him on the spot and bringing up a lot of things. JonTron kept trying to change the subject, about like crime rates in Africa, and the dude kept saying, he's like, we're not talking about Africa. We're talking about the United States. We're talking about the country that we live in. But I gotta tell you, like, the JonTron subreddit straight up locked down.
No.
And a lot of his fans are fucking pissed, man. And actually today, just, not too long ago, JonTron actually on his channel put out a statement, basically saying, let me clarify some of the things I said. And he's like, I think it's hypocritical because we live in such a, he said it's like this growing tribalism where everything is defined by race. Everything is defined by gender that, people can talk so much shit about white people, but the minute any white person tries to stand up for themselves, they're labeled a racist. Which I kind of can see the point.
Yeah, but it depends on the arguments that you use while you're defending white people.
Right. Some of his statistics were a little misleading and probably a little misinformed. But I think the real question here is because, his apology was very half-assed. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it was very sincere. It seemed a little rehearsed. There's definitely some cuts in the statement. And he like apologizes but doesn't apologize. And then at the end he's like, just don't read too much into what I say. Like, yeah, okay. You didn't really clarify much even though you said you were going to.
No, what that says to me is, I'm going to keep saying dumb shit, well, no, actually, so ignore it.
He said he's not going to talk about politics anymore and just get back to doing his regular thing, which I like because I like his channel. I like his videos. I like his game reviews. I'm a fan of his. Mm. But here's the real question, and here's the whole crux of the point of this segment, is can you separate the art from the artist whenever their viewpoints differ so wildly from yours? And it reminds me of when The Hateful Eight came out, Quentin Tarantino had made some statements about police officers. And my dad again, I'm talking about my dad. I love you, Dad. If you're listening, I know he liked our podcast page. So, you know, I asked him, I was like, hey, you know, are you going to go see The Hateful Eight? And he's like, I don't know. I don't really like some of the things Quentin Tarantino said about the police. And I told him, I was like, well, you know, you can separate the art from the artist. I know that you like his movie. But here I am, like, I can't believe JonTron believes these things. And, and you know, how can I go about supporting his channel?
Yeah, it definitely impacts the way that you view all of their media from that point forward.
Right.
It's something that even if you distance it as much as you can, it's still in there. You're still aware of this.
Right.
I'm aware that Frank Miller is a misogynist asshole. That doesn't... Yeah, he is.
I didn't know that.
That doesn't really diminish my appreciation of his work on Sin City or, you know, all of his comics that he's done in his career.
Can we agree that The Spirit sucked balls?
Yes, absolutely.
I've tried to watch that movie twice and still haven't gotten through the first 20 minutes.
I watched it years and years and years ago when it came out, but yeah, no, it's terrible.
Right. But, I mean, so, you know, I'm kind of torn because I'm a very liberal person, even though I share some, like, conservative views on a few things, not very many. And I'm kind of against the whole social justice warrior thing, and I believe there are only two genders. I think that argument is dumb. But I also really like his videos. You know, so what do? Do I continue to support his channel because he's going to be making money off my views?
I mean, he's going to be making money anyway, and your one view is going to be what, 0.0000 1%
but
of
at the same
penny?
time, think of the argument that you're making. Well, they're going to do it anyway, so you might as well just look the other way.
No, and what I'm saying is the people that are going to continue watching him because they have no problem with what he said are still going to continue watching him.
Yeah.
He will gain more people because of his outlandish alt-right statements. He will gain more people following him so that he will get those views as well. And the people that are just rampantly anti everything he said had probably already stopped watching his channel. You were kind of moderate on some of it, so if you continue watching it, you're probably part of the smallest segment of his viewership.
Well, I've seen some people comment that they were like, you know what, I was willing to look past it and still support him on his channel, but then he released this statement on his channel, and now that his channel has become political, I'm done, I'm unsubscribing. Even though, I mean, he kind of had to. I mean, Time Magazine picked up on this story.
Really?
This isn't just a small thing. Yes. They were like, popular YouTuber goes on racist tirade or whatever. And, you know, there's a certain bit of that, you know, bias, but he did say some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
You know, no matter how any way you slice it, there's some things he said that have some racial bias.
Oh, yeah.
To it. So... You know, I think you kind of fucked up there, John. I'm not going to tell you not to talk about politics because that would be infringing on your freedom of speech.
Of course.
You know, and I wouldn't do that. But
if it's your choice to not want to talk about politics because you know it's going to affect your bottom line, that's probably a good business decision.
I'll say this about, and that's the thing. He has employees. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He has a business. So there's a certain level of responsibility, not, you know, to them. Right? Because like Peanut Butter Gamer is a YouTuber that I enjoy, and he does pretty much, you know, family friendly type YouTube videos, maybe PG-13 at the most sometimes. And he's getting death threats over it. He didn't say shit. And he disagrees with JonTron on these things. So, you know,
that's why he's getting death threats.
Right. So it sucks to see that other people are being affected by this, and I hope that JonTron and other people kind of can learn something from this, and that, you know what, you have a responsibility to other people once you reach a certain level of popularity, because the things you can say not only can impact your career, but other people's careers as well.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I would hate to see other people that are in his network lose subscribers for something he said, even though he doesn't agree with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think JonTron is really funny. I think he's very talented. I hope he continues to make funny videos and stuff. If he wants to do political stuff, what I would suggest is that he make a different persona on a different channel and completely separate that from the JonTron.
Or sell his channel to Breitbart.
Oh, God. All right, let's move on. Let's move on.